So today we're talking about what deserves your attention next. Originally, the question was, what should you give your attention to? But really, it is a matter with founders of what deserves your attention and why is it so difficult to know what actually does deserve your attention. That's what we're going to jump into here for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, let's do it. So, decisions every day. Founders make dozens of decisions: who to hire, what to fix, um, what to launch, what to stop doing. We never have a lack of decisions that need to be made. The question is, though, what is the evidence? Because those decisions aren't random. They are based on evidence. We're not just pulling decisions out of the air most of the time. Maybe sometimes. I know I have sometimes. But the question is, what is the evidence? So, most founders do not make decisions with complete information. Why? Because we don't always have complete information, but we need to stick and move. So, we make decisions on the best evidence that we have available, right? And it's whatever we happen to have. So, what does that look like? Revenue, cash, pipeline, customer complaints, support tickets, calendar, Slack, email, you name it. We have no lack of things to give us evidence, right? There's lots of stuff. But here's the thing, they all matter. We don't necessarily have things in our business that we think don't matter, but they're not telling you the same story, right? They're showing you your business, but they're showing you your business at different points in time, right? So I like this. I know you've heard this where they say, well, past performance is not a guarantee of future results. But yet, as a founder, many times we're making decisions based on evidence in the past. Revenue tells you what already happened. Cash tells you what already happened. Customer complaints, clearly what already happened. And even pipeline is based on activities from weeks ago, right? Think about it. So the reason, well, I won't say the reason, but sometimes when something feels off, it's because we are trying to solve today's problems, what's in front of us today, with yesterday's evidence. Now, I think about experience when I say the word evidence, and I toyed with evidence and experience. But you know what I found out is that even though the fundamentals of business have not changed, it's the same as it was from the beginning of time, Stone Age, right? Get customers, provide value, get paid. Like the basics have not changed. But what has changed is the noise and the ways that you can play the game, the ways that you can accomplish them, so that even if you have tons of experience in a certain area, it's completely different than what it was 10 or 20 years ago to do the exact same thing. So we can't even always rely on experience because the noise that is being created every day makes that very difficult, right? So you're often trying to solve today's problems with yesterday's evidence, and your experience doesn't have the same feedback that it had in the past, perhaps. So I like to refer to this as rear view reality. It's like you're driving your car and you can only use your rear view mirror. Get a visual on that. So that's why the next decision is always harder, because, and it's not because you're lacking options. We have tons of options, but we're trying to understand what's happening today from indicators that are in the past. They're already behind us. That makes anything more difficult. So before we ask the question of what should I do next, there's another question. And this is the question I want you to ponder over the next few days. The other question is, what evidence are you using to decide what deserves your attention? What evidence are you using, right? Because the evidence, without evidence, everything is a guess, right? It may be somewhat of an educated guess, but it's a guess nonetheless. Huh. So what we're going to do is, for our types of scale, we have a orientation session where we poke at a topic or an idea, like today, and what affects our ability to make the next decision or determine what deserves our attention. But then we take it a step further with the Profit Visibility Lab, because this is the proof layer. So on Tuesday, even though we're doing a replay, we're going to look at a pattern that makes it even harder to show how movement becomes difficult to interpret. Long before revenue, I read my note, shows you there's a problem. So long before revenue ever shows you there's a problem, there is a way to be able to identify behaviors in the business that you can take action on. And so that's the Profit Visibility Lab. And this is the proof layer. So we're actually looking at the mechanics of patterns that impact your scale so that you can understand how they work. And once you understand how they work, they will give you the evidence, or I should say, you will know where to obtain the evidence to make the best decision on what needs your attention next. Okay? That's Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. So with that, this is Jewel T. Leonard, and I am encouraging you to see more and guess less, and always diagnose before you deploy. Until next time, bye for now.